Hi, I'm Chase.
Hi, I'm Maddie.
Hi, I'm Rudy Pankow.
Hi, I'm Maddie.
Oh, I'm JD.
And
we're
we're the
Starbanks. And you're watching
Burning Questions.
with BuzzFeed.
You guys filmed a full year and now your lives are completely different. What does it feel like? How was the massive fan reaction to the show?
It's weird because like this whole quarantine thing, it's hard because one, you're locked down. So you see like the social numbers changing, which is awesome because it sort of validates that the show doesn't suck.
Woo!
Thank you, world.
Yeah, thank you guys for that.
It's like a weird thing because like we haven't really had any outside like connection besides, you know, these little things.
Yeah. Like I said, it kind of doesn't feel real yet. Anytime I go to the grocery store now, it's getting more and more real. But I think I'm loving this.
I think we're all just really excited to like do what we did last year again with each other. So what are you guys doing? Every time I talk.
Let's raise the bar, baby. We rose it high. We raised it higher.
Raise the bar. The bar is here. It's here now.
Let's
raising the bar.
Did you guys keep anything from the set? I think the only thing that I kept was my Pogues bracelet.
You kept your Pogue bracelet?
Yeah.
I didn't get to keep any of mine.
I'm holding the Zippo lighter that I decided that JJ would have on the first day I got casted as JJ. I was like, he would have a Zippo lighter, so I got to keep that.
This is a little poof that I found at the chateau, like one of the last days we were filming.
Somebody's looking for that.
Before they cleaned it up, and it was just like chilling. Because John B's not the tidiest person ever, so I was like, no one's gonna know this is not.
Hey, I need a Roomba. Sue me.
My good friend here from episode 9. His name is Kodak Quack.
Yes.
He's my duck.
I have.
Hurry up, JD.
The shoe.
John,
I've done a little thing to him since then. I drew all over him. I have bandanas too. I have like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh yeah, they did let us keep some of the bandanas.
I use them quite a bit during the quarantine.
how does it feel to get immediately recognized in a bandana, Chase?
It's the hair.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird.
What's a role you auditioned for that people might be surprised to find out about?
I read through several characters for this show, and I'd say that was something that maybe people don't know is that I read for actually Rafe. Read for JJ first, actually. Rafe, John B, and back to JJ.
There's a bunch of like stuff that's probably pretty well known that I auditioned for. I got pretty close on. Jamal in my block I auditioned for. Everyone says I look like him.
I have one good one. I don't know if I've told you guys this, but when they did the Han Solo reboot, I got pretty deep in the casting to play Han Solo.
See it?
Oh, nice, dude. That's awesome.
I think I read like 5 times for that. And then they cast a 34-year-old guy. So
When I was younger, I actually auditioned for the Coen Brothers reboot of True Grit.
Coen Brothers flex.
Yeah, oh, just True Grit.
What was the first impression of each other, okay?
Everybody was great. Like I was so stoked because we met and then we did the table read and then we all hung out after that. We went to that dinner and I was like, wow, these people are pretty rad. This is going to be a really fun summer. Remember, I didn't like Austin at first. That's the only thing. And now I love Austin.
We all went to the movies one time. Even like the movie just ended and Austin's like, I gotta go use the bathroom. So we're like sitting there waiting for Austin and Chase, dead serious, looks at us and is like, should we leave him? And we were like, no.
I was like, that's Topper. And like at that point, I was just like, I'm going full method. Like, I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
What was the toughest stunt you had to film for the show?
I like the fight scene with Barry.
Yeah.
I think the hardest stunt might have been the stuff on the boat with Ward. We went all out and we're just beating the piss out of each other for 3 days. And
I feel like the most dangerous stunts are the ones that aren't planned. Because sometimes we'll just like decide to do a thing.
Yeah.
Like the time Rudy jumped through a car window.
yeah.
Sure did.
Oh,
Sure did.
Yeah.
Didn't make the cut, though.
Yeah.
That's all good.
How early in the season 2 do you think the Pogues will find out that John B and Sarah are still alive? And what do you think the reunion will be like?
I think it's got to be pretty early, right?
I'm supposed to answer it.
Oh.
They're obviously going to get into some sort of trouble in the Bahamas. They're there for a reason. But that's a great question. I don't know. I would think like 2 episodes in, because the show is called Outer Banks, right? So it can't be in the Bahamas for forever. And I do think that the reunion will be a beautiful thing.
We were quarantining together at some point, and it looked like on social media you might still be. How did that happen? We were quarantined together for a bit, like when the show came out, because we didn't want to be alone when the show premiered. So we spent about a month together in a 1-bedroom apartment. So naturally, we just a little much. So we've all kind of gone our separate ways. We're no longer quarantined together, obviously.
Everyone is talking about the love triangle between Kiara, JJ, and Pope. What can you tease about the possibility of JJ and Kiara being together, and how will that impact Pope and JJ's relationship?
Ow!
Wow, I didn't know this was written already. It's the love triangle that nobody knew was gonna happen, but I'm so glad it did because it's pretty great. Why does everybody insist on being the weirdest people on camera when I'm talking? Like, the reason there is no poke on poke macking was to avoid a situation that might happen in the near future. So we'll see once it's opened up, like why in the first place we implemented that rule.
Yeah.
And what that rule mean for, like, cause like maybe it's like, oh, this is why no poke on poke macking. Nobody should be together.
We started the show with this like fantastic rule of like friendship, and then next thing you know, we're all like,
Yeah.
Yeah, immediately like
it went well, obviously.
Yeah.
I think we all work so well together as friends. It's not hard to picture any of us like being in a relationship.
It's gonna, if JJ and Key ever are gonna be written to end up together at all, it's definitely gonna have to take time, because that is just like such a fast transition between Pope and Key, and I think that will gradually get there, and it will show, just like JD said, that the rule of no poke on poke macking is there for a reason. I mean, that, or it's like, look, like maybe this show will be the first show to show, be like, you can be in a different in several relationships and make it work, you know? You never know.
Like, if you look at it from where Pope and Key ended, I think it was really cool that there's so many different layers of seeing all of them like actually care about each other. Maybe it was a spur of the moment thing, and maybe it was like emotions were so high and you felt so bad about the fact that like Pope was absolutely losing his mind, that this was something that felt right in the moment. And I think as a teenager, like so many times we've all gone through, you kind of look at a thing that you've done and you're like, yeah, that was just kind of a moment thing. And I think it's cool to kind of leave it on that note to where you're not sure who she's really supposed to be with. And there's different layers to partnership. So I think it'll be interesting to see, like, when Pope is not, you know, self-destructing, is he a person that Key would want to be with? You know what I mean? Or either of them. Like, we don't know where Key could end up. Like, who knows who she meets in season 2 or season 3? Like, I think it's cool that everybody was going through so much at the end of the season. Let the girl live.
I feel like every time we talk about Kiara, it's always like whether or not she should be with Pope or JJ, when she like in herself is a good character.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't like be, every time you bring up Kiara, she should be with JJ. It should be like, well, let's like accept Key for the person that she is. Kiara and Sarah are good characters in their own right.
It's also okay to not know who you want to be with. Like, that's totally normal.
Who do you, for Bailey, who do you think Kiara should be with?
I feel like a third party should come in. You know, the reason why Kiara was the one who was so adamant about like Pogues don't mac on Pogues, like, y'all are the only friends she has. She can't lose you guys. I think a third party would be the best way to handle that. Like, somebody else needs to come in.
I also think it would be interesting to see Key bring somebody else into the Pogues.
Guys, Spy Games is which episode is that again?
4.
Was such a fun episode to watch. Chase and Madelyn, can you share any of your fun stories or memories from filming it?
Maddie was super sick. That's not really a fun memory, to be honest, actually.
There was one time that the movie theater night,
Yeah,
and
same episode.
everybody was at the country club, and because they were shooting that, Chase and I weren't on set, so we came to set and tried to get in the background. Like, we asked our costume designer to put us in some clothes that weren't ours and give us some food clothes. And we were spotted immediately and removed shot. Some
moments on the show included some improvisation, like JJ's speech about his dad in the hot tub. Are there any other moments from the show like that? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there is.
Be Safe was completely improv.
Be safe.
So
safe.
I see that the internet really liked when I called Topper a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
That was an improv.
Powerpuff Girls is improv.
We see Powerpuff Girls have fun.
JD and Rudy, they literally, the banter in their show is like that in real life times like 100. And so sometimes when you're like on like in between shots and you're trying to be kind of like down, you know, bad, or, you know, in a bad mood, and then you got Rudy and JD over here like trying to decide like if a taco or a hamburger would win.
It seemed like there was some kind of history or past between Rafe and Kiara. Will season 2 get into that? Will we learn more about Kiara's kook year?
I think, yeah, because you were at my house a lot.
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
I think I did know Rafe from being at your house constantly. I don't know. I have no idea. I've literally never thought about this ever.
Yeah. I
This is
feel
pretty
like,
big. That's a big revelation.
Flashback.
I feel like you already didn't like Rafe just from like, you know, when Sarah and Kiara were friends, because let's face it.
There's no way we were ever like, cool, will we get more of Kiara's kook year? I hope so. You know, I want a little more, because where did I go?
What's it like beating up and getting to beat up people like Drew Starkey, who seem like awesome people in real life?
I know for when I had to hit him, he was like, you can hit me. I was like, okay, I will.
Like everybody like rehearsing stunts together. It's like some of the like most fun.
It's like choreography.
Yeah, it's like learning a dance.
Yeah.
Except you get to look cool. And Drew's really awesome. He's like a great guy. So don't hate on him in real life. He's not Rafe.
The main plot line for season 1 was hunting for treasure. What do you think season 2 will focus on?
Getting the treasure back.
Treasure.
Yeah.
Got us looking for revenge.
Yeah.
It seemed like that FBI guy believed Sarah at the end, and now the cops have heard John B. accuse Ward of killing his dad. Will Ward go down in season 2?
I feel like he should for sure. He's gonna be this close to getting caught, and then he's gonna get
That's
away.
true.
You know, yeah. Or that was stupid. I'm just gonna leave my answer with that.
That was bigger than any cliffhanger on our show.
Yeah, I was like, what if what? What do you mean?